Pakistan is a country known for its rich history and vibrant cities. Somewhat lesser known is that Pakistan is also home to a community hunting model for species such as ibex and urial. For me, it's the mountains and species that call them home that has drawn me to this beautiful country.
Hunting has become a controversial practice in modern times. My name is Dan Cabela, and I'm traveling the globe to explore the true impact that hunting is having on our remaining wild landscapes. This practice goes as far back as human history can remember. But does it have a place in modern conservation?
My journey in Pakistan begins in Islamabad before heading to the mountains in pursuit of some of the iconic species that call this country home. This is the first time I have traveled to Pakistan, and it's quite a culture shock when you touch down on the ground. Islamabad is a really energetic place. The people are welcoming and friendly. As fascinating as Pakistan's cities are, it is the world's fifth most populous country, with a population of over 240 million people, which has placed immense pressure on the wildlife. The mountains are calling, and it's time to head out in search of an ibex. Traffic is extremely hectic and pretty crazy compared to what I'm used to, but hopefully we'll be in the countryside by this afternoon and start hunting either later today or tomorrow. After a good night's rest, we venture into the mountains in search of a send ibex, an endemic species of wild goat that calls this steep, rocky environment home. Only a few licenses are issued each year, which makes these hunts highly sought after and expensive.
After 72 hours of travel, we finally arrived in the hunting area, and it's smells good, feels good. We're up in these desert mountains. It's a beautiful space.
When you're hunting in the mountains, you need to dig deep. It's long days with lots of elevation and no guarantee of success.
Today we're in search of send ibex. We've hiked up about an hour, almost to the top of this first mountain. We got a couple of scouts out. They're looking for the ibex. I guess when we get up top, we'll try to make contact and then go see where they're at.
We've been seeing great ibex numbers in the mountains, so we know they are here. But it's one thing to see them, and another entirely getting close enough for an opportunity at a billy. It is incredible how resilient these animals are. I find it a truly humbling experience pursuing them in their natural habitats. It gives you a newfound respect and understanding of them. Without the element of surprise, we don't even stand a chance of getting close enough. After a few hours of searching, our guide Bilal and his team spot an old billy in a place we can reach.
So our lead guide, Rana, has peeked over the edge here, and he's seen a very mature, nice ibex. So we're gonna go have a look and see what we think.
After many hours of hard teamwork searching, it is truly rewarding to harvest a beautiful old ibex billy. The space left in the world for species like this is shrinking rapidly, and the well-managed hunting of a few individuals each year is protecting their natural habitat and populations in areas where they would otherwise be hunted to extinction for meat. Our successful hunt is celebrated in the traditional way with an elixir that transcends culture: tea. Hunting provides funding that can go into protection and management of resources, as well as scientifically determining what harvest of animals is sustainable.
Animals did not have any value to people. So what people used to do was that they were killing 4 or 5 animals every week, you know. They will kill as much as possible for the meat. So animals were disappearing very fast. So when this system was, community-based hunting was introduced in Pakistan, and slowly and gradually people understood that these animals are valuable animals, and they, because of one animal, like 20 families are fed.
The local community benefits significantly from the hunting dollars that are generated in the offtake of a few high-value animals each year.
It's not walk in the park. Hunting in Pakistan, it's a very difficult hunt, as you know. You and me start looking for the animals, we will never find anything. What happens in this area is that the local watchers, they are already looking at the animals, but they are about 2 hours ahead of us. So these guys with us, they will be in contact with them, and as soon as we will get closer to them, they will point out where the animals are. This is ibex area. So the local guys who live near the mountain, they are coming up here every day and looking for the animals.
So there's a lot of people employed here
Yeah.
because of the hunting that are benefiting from the hunting.
More than 400 or 500 guys who are just for the hunting.
The only way that wild places like these are sustainable in a country like Pakistan, with a large population and demand for land, is for the communities living in these rural areas to benefit financially from having wildlife around. Next, I visit Salim Khan, who tells me about a hunter-led initiative to protect and recover Pakistan's indigenous bird populations, like the gray francolin.
So with overhunting and loss of habitat, the local population of the indigenous birds is pretty much been wiped out. It's only found in few places. Long-term goal is to get a good breeding stock going and then breed them for release in the wild and then hunting.
The goal is that they'll start to thrive
Yes.
on their own.
Yes, yes.
And then the areas where you're releasing them through the hunting, hopefully those areas will be protected from poaching.
Poaching, and you have to do varmint control. Yeah.
Before community-based hunting was done in Pakistan, there was a lot of poaching for meat. This issue has been mitigated by the value associated with foreign hunters, as well as the funding of anti-poaching efforts. Wildlife has more value now than just meat.
So he has to get these guys to fly 3 times a day to get their wing muscles strong enough for them to present a good flight. The challenge is you need a tree line or some sort of line that will make them go high. Once they get the height, then they glide.
The ring-necked pheasant is another species that has benefited from the program. After a change of pace, it's time to head back into the mountains, this time in search of an elusive species of native wild sheep. There's a rugged aspect or quality to any mountain hunt, but I find the terrain in Pakistan to be quite rugged, very sparse, very open, huge areas, and it's an amazing place to chase around animals. After covering some tough terrain, we get our first glimpse of what we are searching for, a herd of urial. These magnificent wild sheep are at home in these rugged mountains, and it's a privilege to see them in their natural habitat. Might not be able to get back up. We just had about an hour trek up some pretty rugged stuff. It's not as hot as I look right now, but that took a bit of effort. It's warm, but not hot. Supposedly there's some sheep down in the valley behind us here. So hopefully our efforts pay off, but if not, I could use a good walk like that a few times on this trip. Without fail, a staple of our trip became tea time, and I was personally quite grateful for the breaks, although I don't think any of the guides needed it. Tea is called chai in Urdu, and black tea with milk and sugar is one of the most consumed beverages in Pakistan. After a short stop, our grueling trek through the rolling hills continues.
How far out are they?
ऊपर चढ़ेगा ना हड्डी के लिए ज़ाहिर हो जाएगा। इस तरफ थोड़ा देखेंगे कुछ अच्छा चांस में थोड़ा करीब भी जाऊँ इस वजह से थोड़ा सा चेक करेगा। हाँ जी नहीं चलो चलो देखो। So he says that from there they are about 500 meters, but if we get in position they will see us. So he will try to find another good spot for the rest.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Harvesting a majestic ram like this means a lot to me, in a way that is difficult to put into words. That bond is shared amongst hunters. It is shared across cultures. And it is the essence that keeps hunting alive globally to this day. The community-based hunting model in Pakistan provides employment to a large number of people. It also regulates the offtake of animals like the Sind ibex and urial, which could easily become endangered without proper management. The sustainable offtake of these species generates revenue that preserves their natural habitat and gives the local community incentive not to poach.
We're about to share a meal of the sheep that I harvested today, and looking forward to trying it. This is something I've done in other places, so I'm looking forward to trying a Blandford urial in this manner.
There is a bond that hunters have that is hard to explain. It is deeper than language or culture, something ancient that is tied to our humanity. One of the most special or amazing things about traveling the world and really spending most of your time in the natural world and not the cities, you meet a lot of people that are very different from you. And I think that's one of the things I value the most. You may not understand the language, but hunters have a bond and they work together as a team. And so typically, things are pretty well understood. I have hunted sheep and ibex in many different countries around the world. But there is something truly unique about this habitat and the experience as a whole. Community conservation and hunting give wildlife in Pakistan a bright hope for the future. By incentivizing people to protect wildlife and preserve natural habitat, these species have value. This value is the basis for a sustainable model that will see these landscapes thriving into the future, made possible through the hunters' dollars that support it.